Episode 1 of Wow, Really? Recorded December 12th, 2015. Things that bother me and make you say, wow, really? Hello and welcome to Wow, Really? I'm your host, Jesse Robinson.
And I'm Pete. Welcome to the podcast, which covers all of life's little quirks that can really get you going, if you let them.
So this week we chose a topic, things that bother me that probably shouldn't. And it's like you said, maybe they should bother you. Some of these things, absolutely. The first thing I want to cover is proper elevator etiquette. You're waiting for an elevator, don't stand in front of the elevator. Let the people off first. I mean, that's proper elevator etiquette. And then, what about the kid that pushes all the buttons on the elevator when you're late for work? I mean, yeah, it probably shouldn't bother me because I was that kid.
So was I. That's on the lighter side. Well, here's something that drives me crazy. Have you ever gone up to an intersection, there's a pedestrian crossing, and you stop the car, but the pedestrian starts walking slower? He slows his gait so he can make you wait longer. It just drives me crazy, and you know they're just doing it to drive you crazy.
That's why I've always wanted to get a locomotive horn on my car. Not only will they move faster, but they'll probably have to change afterward.
Nope. Exactly.
Okay, speaking of cars, car alarms. It's not the fact that they go off all the time. It's the fact that why do these companies make car alarms? I mean, all they do is go off and bug you. People half the time don't even know they're there.
They set them up way too sensitive, I think. I mean, you can't even light up a firecracker behind them without the alarm going off. That's not fair.
I like the ones that say, you're standing too close to my car, move away.
Yeah, exactly. I like that too.
The first time I heard that, I was looking around. Okay.
Well, as long as we're on motorized vehicle, I never understood why you're at the bus stop waiting for the bus. And you're with a couple of cats that are waiting too. And you're there for several minutes, maybe 10, and the bus shows up, and the gentleman in front of you gets on the bus and decides then to pull out his change and count it out 1 coin at a time into the meter. Doesn't make any sense at all. I had 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. I don't care how much. Wouldn't you think you'd have the change in your hand at first? With that, I'm going to pass.
Well, I don't take the bus very often, but I'll keep that in mind. all right. I'm sitting out on the bench on the balcony, the smoking area of our building. I'll be the only one out there. Somebody will come up. They'll get their keys out, but what they do is they stop right in front of me to grab their keys. Could have stopped anywhere else.
Yeah.
The old ass in the face trick works every time. And it's consistent. It's like, I don't get it. Why would you stop in front of me to do that?
It happens to me all the time. I don't want to comment anymore. That's pretty good. Well, here's another thing that kind of bugs me. I'm always about this waiting in line deal. Kind of like the bus. You ever got a checkout? You're behind, everyone's got the groceries in front of you, and you've got to get yours on the conveyor, and you're waiting for them to check out. And they're standing there, waiting, their groceries are getting counted out, they're standing there, and then finally, she gives the total, and then they start fumbling for their card, or their check, and they don't have enough cash or whatever. All I know is the clerk's light goes on, waiting for the manager to come over, and it's 25 minutes. Where's the manager? It's crazy. The light goes on, and I just want to grab my stuff off the rack, throw it back in the cart, and head over to another cashier.
That's what I'm thinking. Where are the other cashiers?
Yeah.
Because when that happens to me, there are no other cashiers. Mm-hmm. It's like they know they got you held hostage.
Yep, you can't go anywhere.
And standing in front of the door. All right, let's say an event gets over. You got 150 people in a room. They all want to go outside, go to the cars, whatever. You always got 2-3 characters standing right in front of the door, lighting up a cigarette, and standing there. They won't move. You gotta be like coming through.
Budge them with the door to get them moving. It's usually the same cats, so they get budged every day, and they just, it's like they don't get it.
I'm guilty of it too, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if I just don't get bumped that much. Maybe I move a little quicker when I hear the door click.
Oh, right.
To get out of the way.
And I've laid carpet for I don't know how many years, and I'd always get the customer at least once a week. They'd be like, "Well, how are your knees? How is your back?" And it's like, "Well, they're all right." He's like, "Oh, well, I had a cousin that laid carpet for 15 years, and he's in a wheelchair now." And I'm just like, "Oh, thanks."
How nice is that? That's when your knees start aching when you hear that. Well, I've got another one here. I sure like these vehicle deals. I do ride the train occasionally. At least you don't have to count change to get on that. However, just sitting on and you're having a restful little ride down the street, and all of a sudden, here comes the cat with the cell phone on, the music blaring on 10, loud as the dickens, and it just breaks up the whole day, and everyone kind of sits there just dormant because you don't want to say a word because you get in trouble for that too. It's kind of frustrating. It makes for a long train ride.
That reminds me of when I was a key man and I was in charge of work therapy. There would be 2-3 guys that would wear headphones all the time. Mm-hmm. And you'd walk into the room and you'd want to say something to them and you'd be talking to them and they got the headphones on so they can't hear you. Yeah, frustrating. I wanted to ban those things.
Yeah, it drives you nuts. And especially, even though you know they're on, you still talk to them knowing they can't hear you. And it's just like, what is going on? Why did I even do that?
Which reminds me, one time I was standing in line at the grocery store. It was a long wait. I turn around and there's this guy. He's looking me right in the eye. He's 4 feet away and he's talking. So I'm like, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" And he gives me this look because he's on his cell phone. I'm like, "Okay, you're on your cell phone and you're talking. Why are you going to look right at me and talk?"
Well, where I work, I'm in sales. Speaking of cell phones like that, a customer will come in and you kind of want to wait on them, obviously, to make a sale. And as soon as they walk in the door, they pull the cell phone out and start talking on it. And you're just kind of waiting and waiting. Meanwhile, they walk through the whole store, check everything out. Other customers are in there, but I'm kind of tied up with this customer because it's my turn. Can't sell anything, and they just walk out the door. It took me a while to get it, though. They don't want to be bothered, so they pull that cell phone out. So I guess they've got a right for that, but it took me a while to figure it out. I couldn't understand why you'd come in and grab that phone, but it's like, don't disturb me on the phone.
I'm going to use that in the future.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That works well. It really does, because no matter what story, if you're on a phone, no one's going to interrupt your conversation.
That's awesome.
I can really help you here, so it's a good idea, I guess.
All right, there's one last thing that I want to cover. Spell check in Word. The word definitely. Every time it says I need to respell it, it will respell it defiantly. And I've written several reports, one for English class, where I just have to start using words like absolutely or positively, certainly, instead of learning just how to spell definitely.
You're going to have to look what definitely means and look in the dictionary and grab those other words it points out. I never knew that.
And like the word etiquette. If you don't know how to spell that, and you try to just kind of spell it on Word, it'll give you everything from educate to whatever.
Except what you're looking for.
Yeah, except because, I don't know, it's French maybe?
No, I don't care because I don't use much etiquette. I'm just teasing, folks.
Well, that about wraps it up for episode 1 of Wow, Really? Hope you've enjoyed this podcast.
Show notes are available online at
We could just all edit it. You could say graphicbread.com if you want.
Show notes are available online at www.graphicbread.com. Join us next week when we take a look at things you wish you didn't see.
Things you wish you could unsee.
Oh,
all you gotta say is that. Things you wish you could unsee.
Things you wish you could unsee.
Until then, this is Jesse Robinson.
And I'm Pete. Have a great week.
WTF, WTF, WTF.